We all carry weight that doesn't always show up on the surface. It's the lingering heat after a family argument, the sharp irritation of a workplace slight, or the quiet anxiety that comes from hours of social media comparison. When someone wrongs us, the brain often defaults to a loop. Instead of processing the hurt, we replay the incident, fueled by a desire to balance the scales and get even. This behavior creates what is known as Ashwatthama Syndrome. Externally, a person might appear perfectly functional, but internally, they are bleeding from the pressure of regret, jealousy, and grievances they refuse to let go of. To understand how this modern psychological trap works, we have to examine the source of its name, a 3,000-year-old curse from the Indian epic, the Mahabharata. Our refusal to forgive operates like a self-inflicted curse. By choosing to hold on to a grudge, we effectively lock ourselves in a room with our own past. A Kurukshetra war ended in a landscape of ash and silence. Among the survivors was the warrior Ashwatthama, who was consumed by grief after his father, Dronacharya, was killed on the battlefield through a calculated lie. Blindsided by the need for retribution, Ashwatthama broke every sacred law of war. In the dead of night, he infiltrated the enemy camp and slaughtered the sleeping warriors and the children of his rivals. When Lord Krishna discovered the massacre, he delivered an unconventional sentence. He denied Ashwatthama the release of death, condemning him to live forever. Krishna stripped a protective divine gem from Ashwatthama's forehead, leaving an open, unhealing wound. He was cast out to wander the earth for thousands of years, carrying the physical and mental weight of his actions. Immortality is often portrayed as a gift, but for Ashwatthama, it was a terrifying prison. He was forced to witness the endless cycles of his own vengeance play out in the world around him, with no hope for an end. Local legends claim this immortal witness eventually found his way to the Asirgarh Fort. He is said to still roam these crumbling stone tiers, performing penance at a hidden temple. Asirgarh sits at a vital geographical choke point, the gateway to the Deccan, connecting the northern plains and the southern plateau. Controlling this pass meant controlling the trade, wealth, and military reach of whoever sat on the throne. Ashwatthama watched the fort's first ruler, Ahir, lose this massive stronghold not in a fair fight, but through the betrayal of a guest he had invited in for protection. Centuries later, the Mughal Emperor Akbar eventually took the fort by bribing the guards with gold and land. He purchased the silence of the defenders, turning the stronghold's internal greed against its own king. The Mughals left behind world wonders like the Taj Mahal, but the era was marked by a strange neglect. While grand monuments were celebrated, lesser symbols of love, like the tomb of Moti Begum right here at Asirgarh, were allowed to crumble into the weeds. The final collapse of local power happened in 1819, when the Maratha defenders were broken by the calculated artillery fire of the British Empire. The stones of Asirgarh tell the same story Ashwatthama has witnessed for millennia. Empires rise on the back of ambition, only to be dismantled by the same recurring patterns of betrayal and unhealed grievances. We aren't fighting over mountain passes or commanding ancient armies, but we all carry an invisible version of Ashwatthama's wound. When claiming we seek justice in personal lives, we must ask honestly, is that actually a socially acceptable label for our own desire for revenge? The real torment of Ashwatthama's punishment was the psychological weight of the past. He was trapped in a state where his mind couldn't let go of the things that had already happened. The only way to move past this syndrome is through radical self-awareness. We have to identify the hidden insecurities, like the need for validation or a primal fear of being unsafe, that keep us tethered to old grudges. Breaking the cycle requires choosing small, daily acts of forgiveness. It means deciding to stop the retaliation before it starts, turning a circular grudge into a straight path forward. Your past grievances will continue to haunt you as long as you provide them a home. You can keep wandering those ruins forever, or you can finally choose to let it go.